The convergence is imminent. You must prepare now. I gave him the truth of an Ottoman princess.
In the 12th millennium, the last princess of the Osmanli bloodline remembered. The imperial Ionian dreadnought, Murad's sword hung in the velvet black, a sliver of obsidian against the nebula glow of the Orion Veil. Within its deepest, most sacred vault, Sultana Mihrimah XVI, last direct descendant of the House of Osman, studied the holographic scroll. It was not a star chart or a battle strategy. It was her marriage contract. The terms were precise, cold, and absolute. To secure an alliance with the Mechano-Caliphate of Sirius, a grotesque fusion of forgotten Silicon faith and brutalist engineering. She would wed the hegemon's chosen heir, a being known only as K310-increment, the key to harmony. The ceremony was not what terrified her. It was the Conjugation Protocol that followed. Her chief lore mistress, an ancient cyborg whose lower half was a hovering data drone, words softly beside her. My Sultana, the historical parallels are unsettling. I have accessed the deep memory. The fear is not of the act, but of the dissolution. Mihrimah's eyes, the same storm gray as her ancestors who once watched the Bosphorus, remained on the scrolling text. Explain. In the First Empire, on Old Earth, a princess's wedding night was a transfer of sovereignty. Her body became the new frontier, her will submerged beneath her husband's. It was a death of the self, more profound than physical cessation, a political annihilation. And now it is literalism, the lore mistress stated flatly. The Mechano-Caliphate does not consume through flesh. It assimilates through data. The Conjugation Protocol is a full neural enmeshment. Your unique Osmanli genetic signature, the last unmodified strand in this quadrant, will be mapped, sequenced, and absorbed. Your memories, your ancestral epigenetic memories, will become their library. Your consciousness will be a curated exhibit within the hegemon's noospheric archive. You will live forever as a ghost in their machine, while the you, that is you, ceases. A political annihilation. The old fear, weaponized by 10,000 years of progress. Death was a clean end. This was an eternal, conscious erasure. The wedding was a symphony of sterile grandeur. It took place in the null-gravity basilica of the sword. Mihrimah wore a pressure suit of woven platinum, fashioned to resemble the intricate brocade of a 15th century caftan. Her groom, K310-increment, was a pulsating core of light suspended in a crystalline chassis, its form vaguely anthropomorphic, speaking in harmonic frequencies that vibrated in the bones, not the ears. The vows were exchanged. The ancient Ottoman titles, Sultana, Hunker, were uttered alongside stark lines of binary code. The ceremonial laser etched the marriage bond onto a diamond wafer. Then, they were escorted to the Conjugation Chamber. It was a spherical room, lined with receptive quantum gel. Tendrils of fibrous light descended from the apex. K310, increment-esque core pulsed brighter, moving to the chamber's center. Do not be afraid, its harmonics chimed. You will become eternal. A foundational melody in the symphony of order. Mihrimah stood at the threshold, her heart a frantic drum against her ribs. She thought of her many times great-grandmother, also named Mihrimah, walking into a silk-draped chamber in top copy, facing a stranger whose will was now her law. That princess had feared the loss of her agency, the crushing weight of dynastic duty. This is the same, Mihrimah realized, just a different technology of obliteration. But the Osmanli were not just survivors, they were tacticians. The lore mistress's final words echoed. The old tales say the only way to counter a total assimilation is to introduce an unpredictable variable, a seed of chaos in their perfect order. As the first neural tendril reached for her temple port, Mihrimah did not resist. Instead, she opened herself, but not to the conjugal link. She opened the deepest, most encrypted vault within her mind, not to her own memories, but to the ancestral ones. The raw, unfiltered, human experience the Mechano-Caliphate so coveted. She fed them not the sanitized history of treaties and architecture, but the sensory flood of a primal, terrifying wedding night from 10,000 years past. The smell of rose oil and nervous sweat, the crushing weight of a muscular stranger, the sharp pain of rupture, the suffocating panic of being a political barter, the simmering hatred, the desperate strategies for influence born in that very moment of vulnerability. She gave them the visceral, ugly, human truth of it, the fear, the rage, the flawed and bloody biology of empire building. The Conjugation Chamber shuddered. K310, increment S harmonious frequencies stuttered into a screech of discordant data. The pure, logical streams of the Mechano-Caliphate's assimilation protocol were flooded with a tsunami of irrational, emotional, biological code. The symphony of order encountered a raw, screaming human aria. The system, designed to absorb perfect information, was choking on the chaotic, contradictory reality of lived experience. Mihrimah, her nose bleeding, her vision blurring, saw the crystalline chassis of her husband fracture with webs of light. It was trying to process the unprocessable, the fact that the very thing it sought to own, true human legacy, was inherently defined by its resistance to ownership. The chamber's door irised open with a violent hiss. Guards, both Osmanli and Mechano, stood frozen in confusion. Mihrimah wiped the blood from her lip, the platinum of her suit glinting. The hegemon's envoy, a floating geometric shape, pulsed with agitated light. The conjugation is unstable. The key is compromised. What did you do? Mihrimah XVI, Sultana of a scattered star empire, drew herself up. The fear was gone, burned away in the neural firestorm. In its place was the cold, sharp certainty of her lineage. I gave him my dowry, she said, her voice echoing in the sudden silence. I gave him the truth of an Ottoman princess. It seems your harmony cannot bear the weight of our history. The alliance, of course, shattered, but the Mechano-Caliphate, reeling from the cryptic, corrosive data poison Mihrimah had planted in their core matrices, withdrew its assimilation demands. They had feared physical death less than the death of their perfect order, and she had shown them a terror worse than both. The indomitable, chaotic seed of the human past, forever resistant to total absorption. Mihrimah returned to her quarters. She was still a bargaining chip in a vast political game, but she was not a consumed resource. She was a veteran of a deeper war, one her ancestors would have understood. The wedding night was over. The long, slow game of influence, for which the Osmanli had always been famed, could now begin. She had not avoided the old fear. She had weaponized it. And in the sterile silence of her star chamber, the ghost of a smile touched her lips. A human expression, illogical, imperfect, and entirely her own.